All right, welcome to another man's point of view. And today, movie night with the space luchador. So we're doing Avatar 2. And I said, that apparently I'm one of the few that thinks Avatar 2 is a damn masterpiece. Now I was gonna do a big list um, of why it is, right? But I think I don't really need it. I was gonna do a list instead of why people hate it. But I found another way so I could, cut corners here, right? And have to read out of a paper. So, a bunch of reactions, quick reactions to a Avatar. So let's see. Let's go see how this comes out.
Avatar was, despite the special effects, one of the least interesting and this movie,
Try that again.
Avatar was, despite the special effects, one of the least interesting and least inventive films ever released. It was essentially just Disney's Pocahontas, but with blue people and less singing. It was a film so lacking in wit and creativity that the natural resource that everyone is fighting over in the film, and it's called unobtainium because it's difficult to obtain. That's the level of writing we got in this film. This is the kind of film where the bad guy is an evil army officer with a scar on his face who's motivated to do bad things because he's the evil bad guy, and that's what evil guys do. And I would continue in my critique of the movie, but it was so utterly forgettable that there isn't much else I can really say about it. I will say that it was one of the only times in my life that I almost walked out of a movie in the theater. The only reason I didn't is that I actually fell asleep. Avatar was, despite the special effects, one of the least interesting and least inventive films ever released.
This guy, and this guy's supposed to be a smart guy. Oh man, you sir remind me of a jackass. This guy is supposed to be smart, like I said, right? He's in there with another smarty. What's this guy's name? Shapiro, right? He's part of that group there. He's crossing little legs with his little cigar, and he thinks he's smart, right? Because he posed the big question, right? What's a woman? Now he's a smart guy. Well, anyways, as you can see, list interesting, really. Avatar had everything because to those that do not realize it, Avatar literally attacks the biggest question of them all. Now, of course, it went through everybody's head, but I'll tell you right now immortality. That's at the center of all of this. Now, if you don't see it clearly, right, clearly you are lost in the real world because that is our biggest problem death, right? But I'll elaborate more on that. Antanium, did you not see the damn liquid, right, in the whale that basically stops aging? It stops it. you know, I bet my bottom dollar, right, that if there was such a thing, a liquid that just stops human aging, people, human beings, men would stop at nothing. Women and men alike would join to kill whatever the hell it may be a baby, right? It may be a damn dog, a whale, whatever the hell it is. If there was just a little bit of liquid that stops aging, immortality. Does this not mean nothing to any of you? Well, not you, my viewers. I'm talking about this guy. Least interesting, really. There's cloning, there's reincarnation, right? Fountain of youth, essentially immortality. There's this like you did not see this. Did you not see this? Aside the special effects, you went in there to get little colors in your eyes. But anyways, I'm going on a big ass rant. That's how it's gonna react. But anyways, as you can see, there's a lot of guys like this. Really, it's the first time you wanted to walk out. Why didn't you? You should have walked the hell out. That way, you wouldn't have made this damn video. You wouldn't have said a damn thing because you didn't see it. Because you walked out. Because you were so uninterested in immortality. Right? I would have kicked your ass out myself for saying such a stupid ass thing. But anyway, again, right? They're unguided, is what I'm talking about. Men apparently have lost the way, right? But anyway, let's continue.
This movie is definitely going to flop. Avatar 2 is coming out on December 16th of this year and is expected to make $649 million just from US box offices alone. But here's the bad news. The first part of the series, Avatar 1, made over $3 billion in total. The fact is people just aren't as interested anymore in the series, not to mention shrinking demand for full-length movies due to the risk of apps like TikTok frying.
All right, problem number two. You're no longer going into the movie to see a movie. Now, technically, this is a review, right, of Avatar 2, but I already give it a 10 out of 10. You gotta watch it. It's a masterpiece if you know what you're looking for. You're watching a movie, right? Now, if you ain't gonna get one of those, what is it, like a technical movie review from the Space Luchador, because I don't do that, right? I don't look at it, well, special effects artist number two, and I don't give a rat's ass who did it, right? All I care about is going in there and watch the movie because then you become a reviewer, right? No longer a movie goer or buff for that matter. There is a difference because now you're in there critiquing all this shit that you weren't supposed to. You either go in there and enjoy the damn movie, right? And you come out and tell everybody in TV land why you liked it, right? Do you recommend it? Yes. 10 out of 10. Why? Well, because it touches the one thing, right, that really matters or should in the real world, in this real world. If you're so oblivious to the fact, right, that our number one problem in the real world, forget about spiritual, in the real world for now, is death. Now, sure, if it doesn't matter to you, it's because you don't really know what it is. That's why. You don't really truly grasp and understand what it is, but I'm not going to get into that now. Also, despite all the stuff I said, father and son, family. Right now, I heard a lot of guys talking about um, dialogue, right? Oh, they can't write dialogue. Have you seen people talk out in the street in the real world? What makes you believe that there has to be a perfect writing? Like, I saw nothing that made me believe that, like, somehow that James Cameron can't write dialogue. Like, what the hell do you want him to say? You want this to be a damn poem? It is what it is. It worked in the movie. And as for the villain, did you forget it's part one and part two for a damn reason? What the hell did you want on part two? What were you expecting? Completely different to part one? It's a continuation of a story. You know, I never understood that from people, right? It's like they gave us the same thing. It's a continuation, right? The villain was killed, right? Spoiler alert, in part one, and he's back because they cloned him right where he left off. Continue button in the video game world. What the hell do you expect him to do? Not to mention all the shit that he went through in the movie. Right? Think about that for a second. This is why I always say think outside the box. Perspective. Right? Don't sit there and join the bandwagon of all these dumbass movie reviewers that think they could come up with a better story than this. Right? That think that they're so great at storytelling that they could come out and literally attack the best director we've ever seen. Right? But it's like, it's amazing. It's like, it really is amazing to me. Right? Think about it. That's why I say perspective. You die. You come back. And I was just talking about the soldier dude, who I love, by the way. He comes back, right? Sergeant. Only to realize you died. And two, you're a clone. And to elaborate even more, three, you, throughout the movie, right? Spoiler alert again, You see all the evidence that yes, you did die. Two, you are a clone. Try to grasp that. Try to grasp that. Put yourself in his shoes for a second, right? Because people are saying that he's a weak villain. Really? Why? What was he supposed to do? Right? Think about it. What would you do? You come back and realize that you were murked, right? Your whole plans and everything went down the shitter because of Sully, right? The guy you took under the wing, the guy you trusted, backstabbed you for a piece of ass. Think about it. You come back, you're a clone. Try to grasp that. That alone, right? What are you now? Do you have a soul? Right? You're an experiment. What you think? It's a damn miracle. He came back and accepted it like a true man. That's the difference. You weren't there whining. Now you can see the psychological damage because every time he saw an arrow, because he realized he was murked. Then he finds his damn body. Right now, I'm giving you an impromptu review, right? Spoiler review, but you know. Then I did warn, right? Spoiler alert. Finds his body, sits there and picks up his own skull. When have you ever done that, reviewers, movie reviewers? When in the hell have you ever put in a damn position of holding your own skull? That shows you right there. You don't know a damn thing about life, right? But yet you sit there, right, and all like all these guys, right? They're hating Avatar 2. Right? It's a shit show. And this and that. And the visuals. Now the score, I can give a rat's ass about the score. Because the movie was that damn good. I don't even remember the damn music. Right? What more do you want? I don't get it. Right? Anyways, he gets the skull. Then he finds out he has a damn son. And not only does he have a son, but just imagine the son don't know he's the dad, right? Son's lost. Nobody really likes him. All right, you miss that too. They think this is reversed racism, right? But no, it's a fact. It's one of the things that I talk about, right? It's not their kid, so they could care less. They care about their own kids. That's the elephant in the room. It touches the one thing that everybody seems to be lost in 2023. You talk about single moms. This is it. Right? This is it. This movie touches it. Right? Only backwards. Kid is a bastard. But anyways, I'm going off. Finds out he's a kid. He has his son. Now what does he have to do? On top of all the psychological shit that he's dead. And he's a clone. Right? And he's on a mission. Because you gotta remember, he's a soldier and he on top of all this, it's his job. This is his mission. Soldiers finish missions. Right? Is he supposed to go rogue? Is he supposed to quit? Right? Is that a better story for you for Avatar 2? Right? And on top of that, he wants vengeance, obviously. And he has to cope with the fact that, hey, it ain't personal. Right? It's like, never once, and this is just my take, never once did he want to kill Sully's wife. It was always about the guy, the mission. Because he's a true man. Even though he got murked by Sully's wife. Right? That's why every time he saw the arrow, he was like, damn. You know? Now, he said he didn't feel a certain kind of way about his son. But turns out he does. You can't go around feelings, which is part of the big problem. That's what I'm always talking about in my videos. Right? Everybody likes to say that if I was this and you do this, when she does this, do this. You ain't there. If you had feelings, you can say all that. At the end of the day, you would betray all that shit you said you would do. And it turns out, right, you got no control. That's the difference. Right, but anyways, I'm going off. Let's go see what these guys have to say.
I'm taking a deep breath after that one. Just got out of Avatar: The Way of Water, the sequel we've been waiting on for like 30 years now. James Cameron knows.
That's his big beef, right? The big joke. We've been waiting on it. I thought you said nobody cared, right? We've been waiting on it for 30. What the hell did you expect? Again, did you want this movie part 2 to just come out in 3 days later after part 1? Now that's what it took, whatever. Right? But here we are. Part 2, it's out. Now let's continue.
How to construct a blockbuster visually. This may be one of the most immaculate looking movies I've ever seen. Maybe it's because I saw it in Dolby 3D. That's the way to see it. I was sucked into the world. I was locked in from start to finish. The runtime is 3 hours. Some may feel that length. The plot points, they're
I didn't feel the length.
similar to what we've seen before, not only in
So it's part 2. What other fucking plot point did you want? Again, it's like mind-boggling. The big complaints are, well, it's 3 hours long. It's more of the same. It's right. What was the other big ass complaint? Oh yeah, they're praising the visuals. It's like now I'm starting to think that they're just doing reviews to do reviews, right? Which is part of the matrix, right? It's kind of like me. I'm doing reviews to do reviews, right? But I'm coming from a real place, right? Real deal. I'm not gonna shit on something that's actually good, right? I'm at least gonna do my due diligence of, is it actually good, right? Not to shit on it so I could come out here and do a review and join the bandwagon because everybody hates it. What is my number one rule? Like I've been saying, right? It's always, if everybody's going that way, go that way, because usually, right, that's wrong. But let's continue. There's more.
Is Avatar: The Way of Water a flop? I was able to see the movie early. Here are my quick thoughts. So I'll go ahead and state the obvious. This movie is visually stunning, and you'll hear that.
Once again, visually, apparently everybody's, I think it's almost copy paste. You see the Matrix? Copy paste. It's visually stunning.
That a million times because it's true. This movie dives further into the lore and world of Pandora, painting beautiful landscapes, and really just showing off gorgeous CGI. But once you take a step back from the visuals, it's shocking how much of this movie is a retread of the first.
Because it's a fucking continuation. You see how it's recycled crap. All these reviewers. Oh, I forgot. Now that I see the girl, that like, remember Grace? Reincarnation. Now, apparently it went all over everybody's head, right? Again. You remember when the part movie in the part 1, they did the connection so they could transfer her soul into the avatar, but it failed because apparently if you actually paid attention instead of looking at the damn visuals, right? And looked at what you were watching, the actual movie, you would have noticed that her avatar is still there alive, but brain dead. Then you would realize and make the little connections just like they connected the 2 wires when they were trying to transfer her soul into the avatar and it failed. Do the math and you will realize this was not, right, this was not a ripoff of Jesus Christ, right, the Virgin Mary. No. This was a transfer of a soul to an avatar that failed because the avatar was brain dead. It's been dead for a while. No longer can it come back. Now, conclusion, reincarnation. They found a way. Right? Grace, spoiler alert, was not a divine birth. It was a plan B to transfer her soul. It just happened to be in a new baby. Right? So technically, a clone. Only natural. compared to the soldier. Now, I'm going to tell you, you're probably going to hear it first here at the man's point of view, Space Luchador movie night review of Avatar 2. Soldier was a clone, technologically, scientifically clone. Grace and Grace's daughter, who is a clone, was done natural birth. Do you not? This is a masterpiece. Avatar 2 is. For some reason, it goes over everybody's head. Now you got me dropping my damn headphones. Right? All right, let's continue.
You want to know the reason why women like this position so much?
Oh,
It's because
I guess
you
that's.
don't have to think about you. We can fantasize more.
All right. Well,
So these feminine.
what happened here?
The highly anticipated Avatar: The Way of Water has
Hmm.
finally arrived,
Glitch.
and the plot is forgettable. James Cameron's
Oh my god. See, this one, the plot is forgettable. Really, what did I just say? Clone, scientific clone, natural clone. And in the middle of all this shit, right? Now I know everybody hates it's a whaling message, not to kill whales. No, this just happens to be, right, an intelligent mammal whale from another world that we happen to find out how. I don't know because they don't explain the movie, but they do explain in the movie the reason they kill and pillage and basically rape the damn whale for that liquid. That yes, the only thing that really pissed me off, the only complaint, this is it, is that they valued that golden juice, orange juice, right, liquid that stops human aging. Right? They valued it at a couple million. They should have said, "This is priceless." Immortality. Now, again, this is my big rant, right? It's the forgettable plot, really. It's the be all end all. Immortality. Must I say it again? Right? Now, for me to make the connection for you, my viewers, right? I'll make the connection for you. It's the same thing, different ways, which is part of what I'm talking about, right? When I talk about women and the puzzle pieces in the Space Luchador program, there's different ways to do it. Cloning is one way of immortality, scientific, but it's technically an attempt at immortality, right? Reincarnation is another attempt at immortality, only it's natural, right? You be the judge of which one is legit, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Just one's natural, one's scientific. Right? One's spiritual, one is atheist, right? Whatever you want to believe, right? And right in the middle, right smack in the middle, right? This orange juice that, yes, we would beat the shit out of that whale if it just had an ounce of that orange juice that stops aging. Immortality. Right? And all those people say, "Oh, I'd rather die than kill." When faced with death, I bet my bottom dollar you'd be the first to stab that damn whale in the eye, as long as you got yourself a little bit of that juice. So sit your ass down and shut the hell up. Right? But let's continue.
Avatar 2 took 5 years to complete with an estimated budget of $400 million. It's one of the most expensive films ever made. But despite incredible technology, a beautiful universe, and powerful battle whales, Avatar 2 just rehashes the same storyline from
Once again, immortality. Not, and I haven't even gotten into the family thing, right? You got the leader of the clan, right? Who is supposed to be Turak Muktau or whatever the hell, right? The legendary warrior, right? Faced with the decision of, do I protect my own or my people? Well, I'm gonna be a little bit hypocritical. If you watch the movie and paid attention, and actually understood what the story really is about, right? The actual messaging, which is literally father and son love. It's the king being the man, right? A leader of his people. Do I protect my people or do I protect my kids, right? A hypocrite would be like everybody. Everybody always says, "Oh, I love my people." But in all reality, you love your own. That's the truth. Just like his wife, who is high and mighty on nature, right? A tree hugger, but she hates little Spider there. Why? Because she can care less about Spider. Because Spider ain't one of her own. That's why. Right? Now, if it went over everybody's head, once again, you've never been there. Right? Which is why you don't know. Ignorance is bliss. But let's continue.
From the first film. Noble savages protect their world against the sky people, evil humans who destroy anything in their path for profit.
That's another thing. Like, what is evil? Right? You've seen it here in the world, in the real world. People die all the time for no apparent damn reason. You're walking down the street, some crazy homeless dude, blah, stabs you right in the neck. You're done. You don't believe me? Look at the news every day. Right? Some guy was driving in the freeway, boom, got shot. Why? Who knows? Right? Because there are evil ass people out there in the world. Evil exists. That's why. Right? The real world seems to be just worse than any movie. Have you not noticed? 2023. Right? Have you, what more should I point out? All right. What else? You got looting. You got random ass whoopings. Right. You got people getting repel. People just the stupidest thing ever. Like um somebody apparently this is new news to me. Right. So somebody some Tesla went over some hill, which now is coming out that apparently the father intentionally drove off the hill to kill his whole family. So there you go again, right? Now imagine that in a movie, right? Some jackass be complaining, well, why would he do that? Well, why'd they do it in the real world? Because right, there is no explanation to why they do it. It's the fact that they do it. You must be the smart one to know that it could happen, and two, what to do if it happens, and three, don't ever do it yourself because you would be a dumbass. So don't be that dumbass. Right? But I'm going off on other things.
That narrative is as old as time, which is probably why James Cameron has been accused of borrowing ideas from older films to create Avatar. But
Pocahontas. So here's the thing about it. Like, the hero's journey has been done over and over and over and over and over and over again. Why? Because that is the way. That is the answer. It is correct. But if you sit there and say, well, I'm not going to do it because it's like I'm copying, that's a universal truth. It ain't Pocahontas, right? It ain't some damn Disney classic, right? What are you supposed to do? Like, what's the big, what is, I don't seem to, I'm trying to make, to connect, understand these reviewers on where they come off saying, hey, he borrowed. This is universal truth to all of us. It's like having a kid, right? It's a universal truth. We all can and should have a kid. That's the process. That's a way. Are you not going to do it because it's been done 1,000 times? And that's a dumbass excuse and way of thinking. But that's how you sound, right? Reviewers, I mean. Not you, my viewers.
what's especially sad about all this is that Cameron's film stands against everything that defines his career. He vilifies wealth and economic development, hinting that we should be more collectivist, like.
No, this is just what happened. This is just what's happening in the damn movie. He villainizes. No, the Navi are just happens to be tree people, right? And then you got the water people in this planet, alien planet, right? This is the way it went down. There ain't no vilifying what. You're always trying to attach all this shit that you're living in the real world to your movies. Right? It's like you're stuck in this thing of the message. Right? It's like this is what there ain't no other way to do it. How do you do it? Or you want the tree people to somehow, oh well, now they're doing science. It's like it's amazing.
Like the Navi. Yeah, he's profited immensely from a system that rewards individual.
Why are you looking at that? Of course he's gonna profit immensely. You're damn right. The greatest director of all time, I dare say, right? Because he's made all my favorites: Terminator 2, right? True Lies, Aliens 2, Terminator 1, the women's favorite, Titanic, Avatar, greatest grossing movie of all time, and now Avatar 2, a masterpiece once again. Right? Of course he deserves his million. Now, whether what he said, because everybody, up and down, because he said something about Soy Boy, right? Remember, words count for nothing. Action, however, that's what you have to see. I'm trying to show you that he could go up there and work the crowd, right? Why not tell the Hollywood, well, I think testosterone is evil and testosterone is bad for the world and then he comes out with this masterpiece, which is all full of testosterone. Action. Hero's journey, right? Pitt's father versus son, husband versus wife, right? Humanity versus immortality, spiritual versus science. Did you not see this in this movie? Then that proves you're not thinking three-dimensional, Morty, right? That's the problem.
Achievement. And he called testosterone.
Anyways,
You want to know the
Oh.
reason?
The highly anticipated
was-
Avatar: The Way of Water has finally
They were just
arrived,
about
and
to
the
say what
plot
I was
is
explaining about the
unforgettable.
testosterone
James
thing.
Cameron's Avatar 2 took 5 years to complete. with
I
an
don't know-
estimated
I don't know how
budget
to
of
forward
$400
these,
million.
so-
It's one of the most expensive films ever made.
Screw
You
it.
want to know the reason why?
The highly anticipated.
Is Avatar
I don't know why my thing is
You want-
glitching.
So these feminists want men to be afraid of them. They want men to.
I'm afraid to argue with woke people because I look like this and I don't know who's gonna back me up. I'm on board with.
That's funny, right? Straight white guy. Anyway, that's Spider. That would be Spider in Avatar. Nobody wants him, except for his father. But of course, he's gonna have the same old tired down, sorry ass excuse of you weren't there for me when I needed you. But spoiler alert once again, blood is thicker than water, and apparently, even if you're a clone. Did you not see this in the movie? This is a masterpiece. So I'll end with that because for some reason it threw me off to some other videos. But also, here's the big quote. Now, if you paid attention, right? Here's the be all end all, right? It's the big message from the space luchador when they say the way of water does not have a beginning or an end. That is, the universe does not have a beginning or an end. Grasp that. You must see through all this shit and understand the true message of what it truly is to be a man, right? Now here there wasn't no power. I want to be a warrior like that shitty ass Predator Prey movie that everybody praised. All these same ass reviewers that are now hating Avatar 2, right? Were the same piece of trash that praised Prey, right? Because it was a different take. They ruined Predator, they ruined the franchise, and they ruined the hero's journey. And her big ass reason. It's amazing to me. These same guys are like, I hate the villain because his big motivation was to kill Sully. That's all he wanted. What the hell else did you want other than revenge? Have you seen people? You know how you do revenge? You know what revenge is motivated by? By the one thing, the most powerful feeling in the world, revenge. It's amazing. The same fuckers that said, what was they defended the motivation of the girl in Prey. Her big ass excuse for doing what she was doing is because, why do you want to hunt? When they were asking her in the movie, remember that? Why do you want to? And she goes, because everybody thinks I can't. And they defended. This is what I'm talking about. This is the one thing that pisses me off, right? It's like, how dare you come out and attack Avatar 2 after you pray? You should be all your little badges of movie reviewers, right? I'm talking to you, Red Media Letter, whatever the hell. I used to respect you guys until as movie reviewers until you sat there and defended Prey. You should be a damn shame of yourself. And now you're coming out here, Avatar 2 sucks. Right? This is amazing. Or maybe some other Avatar.
The other thing about men is that we're
This
prone
guy.
to becoming randomly obsessed with very weird and specific things out of nowhere.
Yeah, like Avatar 2. Apparently. Right? But, you can be obsessed with asking the question, what's a woman? Right? Yes, we could be obsessed with random shit. Because that's the way we work. That's it.
Again, we cannot explain this. We shouldn't have to explain it.
It's science.
For example,
Enough of that
Anyone
guy.
who knows anything about fighting knows there's two kinds of fight gyms. You have the traditional McDojo, like the karate gym type.
There's zero advantage.
Well, there you go. That ends.
I had this teacher at Cal, and
My body count is.
you might have heard about this freak named Tom Haviland. He's something like
Yeah, well, anyways, that ends Avatar reactions, apparently. But that's basically what it is. Right?
Avatar was this.
They're all attacking about, they're praising the visuals. They're saying it sucks, the story sucks, dialogue sucks, right? And I'm telling you right now, masterpiece of a movie. Watch it again. I'm gonna watch it again. They tackle, and I'm looking forward to part 3 because now it's next level, right? Now we have an infiltrator, right? Son for a son. You remember that? That's in the movie too, right? Sacrifice, prices, right? You win some, you lose some. The big choice when faced with it. I hope no one ever goes through it. But think about that. Now everybody's quick to say, I would give everything for my kids. But when placed in that situation, truly, do you really think you would do the right choice? Do you have the nut sacks to do it? Right? Are you willing to pay the ultimate price? Everybody's quick to say yes. But I hope you're never ever placed in that position. Understanding that alone makes you closer to grasping everything that I'm talking about and mastering yourself and this thing we call women. Right. So, anyways, went with that. That's Avatar 2. 10 out of 10. Way of Water. Perfect. I say perfect sequel. Looking forward to part 3. Damn right I am. Because this can go a bunch of different ways. Like, again, just to recap, you got cloning, you got reincarnation, right? You got grasping the fact that you got murked, right? Father and son, right? Offspring, people versus your kids, your own kids, right? Wife versus wife. Who's the decision maker? Because if you remember, part of all the movie was the women trying to do their own thing, right? Trying to run the ship, right? There was literally a scene where the guy who is the big chief, the big king of the tribe, has to turn over at his woman and get the big ass approval. That shows you right there what he's made out of. Now, apparently, this guy, right, who poses the question, right, of what is a woman, he doesn't know, had no damn idea himself. Right? But there you go. Another quick example there for you. Anyways, I'm going on rants here. But Avatar 2, 10 out of 10. Couldn't have done it better myself. I would have only taken out the one thing, right? If I can go back, if I was Cameron, right? If I can just go back and do the director's cut, that one little scene where he's taking out the juice, and it's just one drop alone is worth trillions of fucking, that's what I would have changed. Instead of a couple million. Anyways, there you go. I mean, that's all the proof you need right there. Discovered immortality in this juice, who happens to be in these smart ass whales. You can bet your bottom dollar they would take the whole damn planet down if we found immortality juice. And you know it in your heart to be true, so there you go. Forget about the way tree people, water people, underground people, sky people. You would take it all down for just a little bit of immortality juice. And you know this. Anyways, going off. So if you like this video, give me a like, share, subscribe, right? Comment down below if you agree. If you didn't see it, you did not see the greatest topics of them all, right? That unites us all, both women and men, right? Immortality. Once again, clone, reincarnation, all of these topics, father and son, spiritual versus science. This is all in this movie, Avatar 2. And nobody saw it. You don't get it. You don't get it. You don't see it, right? This is the be all, end all. The damn reason we would go into space to find these questions out. Those that I just summed up right there for you. They're in the movie, sprinkled, but they're there. All right. So, yeah, hopefully I made it more interesting for you. Maybe you want to go back to those that saw it, go back and truly try to pay attention to it and realize what's really going on in this movie and why it works. Maybe in the subconscious, but it works. The box office is showing, no matter what all these guys are saying and running their mouth about how this movie sucks, once again, it's going to pull through as one of the greatest grossing movies of all time. Cameron, you did it again. So, there you go. Again, all right. This time, I'm done for real. So, I'll see you on the next man's point of view. Again, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. If you don't agree, if you think this movie is shitty, you can also comment down below. And I want to know why. Why do you think this movie sucks? Don't give me the shitty classic shit of the visuals were good, but the dialogue, really? Have you ever spoken to people out in the street? And this is supposed to be the real world. Have you ever heard people talk? The dialogue sucks in the real world. Right? Guys don't know what the hell to say to girls, and girls will never tell you the truth. So there's your dialogue for it. Anyways, I'll see you on the next man's point of view. Movie night.